Good morning, everyone, from my very glorious garden this morning. Just a quick live to check in with you guys today about something that came up yesterday in our event and comes up a fair bit for me, and I'm sure that you guys will resonate with it. We shared a little bit around this as well in the Radiant Femmes movement. So let's see who's on here live, and we got lots of feedback. So let me know if you're watching. I think it's just about 9 o'clock now, isn't it? So maybe 9:30. Some of you may have started work. If you're watching this later, let us know where you are this morning and whether you resonate with this, because it's not what you are doing often that is creating that unease and discomfort in you, whether it is physical discomfort or mental discomfort. So let us know as you jump on. Hello there. So it's not often what you are doing that is creating that physical discomfort or the mental discomfort, but what you are not doing. And you will hear people say, at the end of their life, it's not what I did that I regret, it's what I didn't do. And this can go across many different levels. I know for myself, work-wise, if I know that there's something I need to do and I'm not doing it, morning Gemma, I get that feeling of unease, I get that discomfort, I get that lethargy because I'm like, I need to do this, or maybe it's our Facebook Live I need to do this morning. And the more I put something off, the more discomfort I feel. Now, if you take that to a bigger level, then you start to get a lot more density in your energy and in your body. This can lead to not just feeling a little dull or a little lethargic or a little unmotivated, but it can lead to more chronic type diseases, because that energy is a heavier energy that can lead to mental type depression things, but it can lead to density in the body. And we're talking things like cancer, chronic disease, your body turning against you. So there's kind of like rheumatoid type conditions, fibromyalgia, where you are not coherent with what your soul wants. So if you are not fully coherent, so in your mind you want to do something but your body's not showing up, your body's asking for something and your mind's not on board. Emotionally, you are desperate for something but your mind is saying, no, I'm not going to go there. Then you are not coherent in all parts of you. We get forward momentum that feels really great and is easeful when every part of us is on board with itself, right? So physically, we're expanded, open, strong, flexible. Mentally, we're expanded, open, strong, flexible. Emotionally, we're expanded, open, strong, flexible, right? And this is about living in your truth. And when there's a little bit of you that knows it's not doing that, it's not showing up in the way that, if you come to this deeper sense of what you really want and how you want to show up, if you're not fully on board with that in some aspect, then that's not going to feel good. And that's going to stop you showing up. It's going to stop you moving. In some way, it's just going to make you feel miserable in some way, and you may not be able to quite put your finger on it. So if you have a piece of pen and a paper right now, just feel into what is something that you haven't taken action on, that you know you want to, or you know that not that you should, but it is in your highest interest to. Because on the other side of doing that, you know that you are going to feel better. Yeah, or it's something you've just been putting off, and there's fears and doubts and unknowns about it. Now, here's the other thing. It's not always, so I just had a message pop up on there. I forgot what I was going to say now. I got a little bit distracted there. So it's not always the emotional stuff that you need to address with around that doing, because we can get caught up in the fear, the doubt, that I'm not good enough, I don't know, all these different things that are stopping you from doing whatever it is. I shouldn't have to do this, okay? Feel into, number one, the desire. Is there a desire there of something that you do really want? And whether it's doing a Facebook Live, whether it is eating better, if we spend too long in the emotion of it, then we can just get caught up into that spiral, particularly if we don't have someone to hold us in that. We can just get caught up in it and still nothing happens. And then self-guilt and shoulds and blame comes in. But if we look more at the logistics of what needs to happen, if we want that thing to occur, that step to be made, that next thing to actually have action taken on it, then we need to maybe look at the logistics. All right, so it's about now breaking down why you're not doing it from a logistical point of view. What is it that you don't know yet? What is it that you maybe don't have yet? How are you not maybe creating enough time for that? So you start to look at the very little steps, the very little logistics of why it is that you're not doing something. Because otherwise we get caught up in the numbness of just the feeling of not feeling great and action not happening. And we get caught up in the emotion of why we're not doing it and blaming ourselves. And I think the other thing to be aware of is also just to be realistic. Now, for me at the moment, I keep coming a little ahead of myself and thinking about what I need to be doing for the business. And I haven't actually managed to get to it because, and it is making me feel a little bit heavier. I can feel that kind of, I want to get going. But I have to also be realistic that my kids are still on holidays. My in-laws have just left. We've had a few events come up. I've got other things that are distracting me, but that need to be done and that I also want to do. So sometimes it's a matter of just taking that mental thing that you're telling yourself you need to do and just putting it to the side and going, it's okay. That's for later. I will schedule it in. I'm going to do it next Tuesday, and I'm going to carve out this time for it. Because if we just keep pushing it to one side, then it's not going to happen either. So if you know that there is a very good reason that you are not getting to that, but you have to be truthful with yourself, then you just need to look ahead and carve out that time that you are going to sit down and you are going to tackle that job. All right, so sit down and think, number one, what is something that you are not doing that has been on your to-do list, or you've suddenly realized watching this, oh my gosh, that's why I'm feeling this way, because I am not showing up or I'm not doing this thing. Put that down. Then look at the logistics, not just the emotion around it, because there's always going to be fear, self-doubt, I haven't got enough time, I haven't got enough money, whatever it is. Look at the logistics of why that's not happening. Break that down into the teeniest, tiniest steps of what you need to do. And then be realistic about, is it the right time right now? Don't just kid yourself. And if it's not quite the right time, make sure you schedule in the right time that is going to happen. So for me, next week, I've got a couple of days, boom, kids are back at school. I'm going to sit, do some planning, get some stuff organized. Because once you've allocated that time, your mind can relax as well. It's not just holding there, when am I going to do this? When am I going to do that? All right, so it is not about always what you are doing. It's often about what you're not getting to, what you're not doing that can bring that energy down. So morning Sue, morning Moane and Gemma that joined us through the call live. Let us know, what is something that you have been putting off? And 2020, this is the time to get organized. It's a 4 number, it's solid, this is real. We've got good foundations here to really create change and see the fruits of your labors over the past few years. So what is something that you have been putting off that you need to look at? And what are some of those logistical steps that you can break it down into that you can start tackling, and when are you going to do it? So jot that down for me in the comments below and we will check on them throughout the day. And if you're just jumping on now, Lisa, good morning. Maybe watch the replay. We're just about to finish up, because there's a few gems in here. And if there's something that you are not creating action on and it's making you feel a little heavy or a little lackluster, then you need to watch this and go through the steps that we've just gone through. All right, my lovelies, have a great day and a very proactive one. We'll see you soon.